I would like to begin by thanking Luciano Calente, who's with us, and Chris Calente, who is not at this particular moment, who own ACIC and Methapharm, and who are my employers, and have agreed to allow us to be here today in this great facility. And this is a beautiful building, and I'm going to talk about it in a bit more in a second. But I'd like a round of applause, please, for Luciano and Chris. At 10 a.m. this morning, I was at City Hall and I officially signed my papers to become or to run for the position of Mayor of the City of Brantford. Thank you. There's a picture that's floating around up here of me about 40 pounds ago, and I had much bigger hair. And at the time, and there's no gray in it at that stage. But I was thinking when I was signing the papers and everything that it used to be a completely different process where you had to go get the electorate to actually sign and say that they would allow you to run, sort of thing, beforehand. Now I just have to walk in, give them $200, sign the papers, and away you go. Which might be an indication of why we're going to have 10 candidates in this election this next time around. Get $200 together, you can run. But this is a very important election for the City of Brantford. And it probably will be as significant, I think, as the '94 election, which started a lot of change in our community. But the significance of this one is the fact that we have done so much, we have changed so much over the last little while. And we are now at a point where we need to capitalize on that change and to move ourselves forward. And one of the things you're going to hear me talking about over the next number of weeks and months is the fact that the City of Brantford is a large urban municipality. We are a large urban center. And that is significant because as much as we want to believe that we are a small town and we like the small town charm, that's not us anymore. There are small towns around us, and they do have that charm, but we are a large urban center. We can maintain an element of small town charm, but the truth is we're a large urban center, and it's time for us to start acting like a large urban center. So the two things that we're going to talk about that you're going to hear quite a bit about over the next little while is the first one, and what I'm going to be promoting and saying is the City of Brantford needs to become a 21st century city. We are in the 21st century. We're 10 years into it now. We've got 90 years to go. And what we do now in this first 10 years can be the determining factor for the next 90. And that is a significant thing for us to be involved with. The other part that I want to talk about is creating an exceptional living experience. And what that means is, and if you look around this room, you'll see a mix of people from all walks of life, all ages, and significantly children here as well. Because if you look at my campaign team, a lot of us are young families. We're driving our kids here, there, and everywhere, and we see what it's like to be, and we know what we want for an exceptional living experience. And one of the ways that I want to do over the next number of months is engage people to talk about what they believe is an exceptional living experience. And that, to me, is what we will work towards to make a difference. The 21st century city phrase, or the way that we want to go, is one of we're referring to it as the summit platform. And the summit platform highlights the fact that, and I will be saying repeatedly, is let's come together and create an exceptional living experience of a 21st century city. And you're going to see that on a lot of brochures and a lot of material. Let's come together and create an exceptional living experience of a 21st century city. And we can do it. And there are three parts of we're referring to them as pillars, and they'll pop up here in a second. They look like pillars, and you can read them up. You can read up the side of them to see what they actually stand for. But the three pillars are relationships, education, and communication. Those are the three things in Brantford that we need to do with our neighbors and with the citizens in our community to be able to make that kind of difference. There they are. Those are lovely pillars, by the way, or columns actually. But those are the three pillars of the platform: relationships, education, and communication. That's what will make the difference. There are 5 platform areas that we're talking about or referring to. And the first platform area is that to become a 21st century city, we need to become economically diverse. To become a 21st century city, we need to be culturally dynamic. To become a 21st century city, we need to be environmentally responsible. To become a 21st century city, we need to be open and inclusive. And to become a 21st century city, we need to have progressive government. And I would like to point out, and one of the things that, and the reasons that I asked Luciano and Chris if I could have the presentation or the announcement here, is this is exactly the kind of industry, the kind of business that we want to have in Brantford. This is a new industry, a new economy industry, being in pharmaceuticals. This is an international company. We have partners all over the world. We speak 19 different languages. There are people from all over the world here right now that we are working with. And this is the kind of company that we want to have in Brantford. This is what we want to focus on. And it is significant to us. So having said that and laid this out, and I'm not keeping people here for a long time because I know people are rushing here, there, and everywhere, but I do appreciate you coming out. And I would just like to say that this is a great opportunity for us to make some change in our city, to really do something significant, and it is what I want to be able to do as mayor. And I hope that I can count on your support, and that as we move forward, that you can help us spread the word of a 21st century city and a good campaign, good positive campaign for Mayor of the City of Brantford. Thank you all very much for coming.